Happy New Comic Book Day, geeks, and welcome to issue 82 of the Script Heroes podcast. I'm Katie.
And I'm Joseph, and today we're going to be talking about Batgirl issue 9, the all-new Captain America issue 1, Hyde Street Sisterhood issue 1, Arcana Royale issue 3, and the returning Arcbound issue 5.
That's right. Be sure to hit subscribe to add us to your pull list, and let's jump right in to Batgirl. Batgirl number 9. This is coming to us from writer Tate Bromble of Christopher Chaos, House of Slaughter, and Green Lantern Dark. Artist Takashi Miyazawa of Miss Marvel, Spider-Gwen, and Mech Cadet. The colorist is Mike Spicer, and the letterer is Tom Napolitano. Jay, we've been kind of all over the place with Batgirl. We like a lot of the concepts that are happening. We like a lot of the art that's happening. How do you feel about issue 9, which is the start of a new arc?
Yeah. I quite like the last two issues. I know you weren't huge on issue 8, but I quite liked issue 8. I think this issue, one, it's nice to have Takeshi Miyazawa back on the book. Yeah. I thought the fill-in artist was great for like that kind of flashback Lady Shiva stuff, but it is great to have them back on this issue because they are just really great at doing a lot of like Batgirl action-y stuff. Yeah. It looks quite good. So that is kind of a first very nice thing. There's also really just great character designs for like all the ninja
really
stuff.
Gorgeous and really exciting setup for the arc.
Yeah, absolutely. We also get a horse. I know you like to usually shout out that horses are difficult to illustrate.
They are. And look at that, we've got one.
But in any case,
we've got many
this
horses.
Is many. This is a little bit of like a slowdown issue to some extent. I guess the last two issues weren't like super fast, but you know, this is like.
Well, I mean, the story happening behind the story
issue of an arc.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of what you expect out of first issue of an arc. It's kind of a lot of build up, and then we kind of get to the. I'm not going to reveal the big spoiler at the end here, but it's basically to get to that moment where we then get a little bit of a fight scene, and we get kind of our big issue ender to end off on. I was a decent fan of this issue. I thought the dialogue between Bronze Tiger was set up in the last issue and is in most of this issue, so I don't think that's what Bronze Tiger and Batgirl I thought had a fairly good interaction. I'm a little bit. I don't know where Bronze Tiger's at right now. Like I don't have enough context to see like when he learned that he was being mind controlled or whatever and turned I guess good. So I don't have the context for that. So I don't really know a lot for like why he is and where he is and that kind of stuff, but I still thought his interaction with Cass was quite solid. But I don't like I'm dancing around it because I really want to talk about the thing that I can't talk about. I don't love the big addition, we'll say, to the Cassandra Cain mythos in this issue. I think it is maybe the most tired trope in comics, specifically in Bat Family comics, and agreed. I just don't think it needed to be gone to again.
Yeah, and I think especially in a book that's already doing a lot of good fleshing out for Cass, it felt like unnecessary. Yeah. Like all the stuff with her relationship with Lady Shiva felt like it was expanding on stuff in a really great way, in a way that felt like it was fleshing this part of her history out. And like the stuff that we got expanding Lady Shiva's history was awesome. Like that was all really good. That new stuff.
Absolutely.
But then we get back to this now and we have new stuff coming in for Cass, and I feel like it doesn't quite have the same I don't know, je ne sais quoi as the others.
Agree.
Yeah, overall also, I did really enjoy this issue as the start of a new arc. I think that the setup of these three like siblings, cousins, whatever they are, with their like 3 swords is really cool. I'm a little worried.
Yeah, I don't know.
Considering it's a 3-part arc, and I don't think it's a spoiler to say that something doesn't happen, but she doesn't like get into it with any of them in this one. And I'm a little worried that we're gonna cram 2 of them into one issue later on. But maybe we won't, and maybe we'll get cool stuff out of that. Because I really want to. I'm excited to focus on those 3. I think they're going to be really cool, and I think they're going to create really dynamic fights for Miyazawa.
Yeah, I agree.
to do really awesome stuff with. So yeah, I feel like this was the good start to an arc. There's that big detail that's a major spoiler that I'm not the biggest fan of, but it's the first time this is coming up, so maybe it'll go really well.
Maybe it will. It also was a little weird based on the Shiva setup that this happened in specifically this way. Not really what the last 2 issues hinted or built at, so that was a little weird. But I agree with you. I think it's a good setup issue, specifically on like the 3 swords end and that kind of stuff. Great, like I said, great character designs is such like a big thing that has really been one of my favorite things in the Batgirl series. The Unburied were so freaking cool looking.
So cool.
So
yeah, a lot to like, a lot to be wary of.
This is a big wait and see arc.
Yeah,
this is a big wait and see arc, is where I'm feeling.
Yeah, dear listeners, you all know the big spoiler. By this point, I'm sure you read Batgirl. If you read it, how are you feeling about this this new thing? Let us know in the comments down below. And do you have a favorite version of this new thing? Really talking around it there.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
We're going to be going over to the brand new Captain America series.
That's right. I got the Marvel Rivals variant.
Captain America issue 1. The writer of the series is Chip Zdarsky, who's worked on Daredevil, Batman, and Public Domain. The artist is Valio Sheedy, who's worked on Iron Man, Guardians of the Galaxy, and The Mighty Thor. The colorist is Frank Martin, and the letter is Joe Carmagna. Kate.
Yeah.
I don't think either one of us has particularly read a ton of Captain America.
I don't think I've read any Captain America.
There you go. So do you want to talk to me about this Captain America #1 that is shockingly not like World War II Captain America flashback, but like beginning of modern age Captain America?
Yeah, that was definitely, I think, a surprise to both of us. Neither of us knew that going in because we didn't even read the description before. Be like, yeah, we'll check out the new Captain America. I feel like it. Right, that's the thing. Good faith in Chip Zdarsky. I feel like it is a really welcoming type of book for someone who hasn't read a lot of Captain America. Like, I do feel like I'm getting him right at his origin. Jay's holding up the first panel that I held up as well, which is Captain America on a motorcycle. So iconic, so good.
Good shit.
And I feel like it's something where you're kind of dropped in because he doesn't just wake up. He's been awake for like a month or a week or something. And like the Avengers have already tried to talk to him and stuff. So it's not like he's brand new, like just woken up. So you get these little bits of context, but it's nothing where it feels like I'm like missing anything, because I don't think it's stuff that happened in some other book that we missed. It's all part of the introduction of the character. And I quite liked it. I feel like it feels refreshing, which is kind of a weird thing to say about like essentially an origin comic. And I think it's because of him like actively being like, no, I'm not going to work with the Avengers right now. Like it felt really refreshing to be like, oh yeah, we're not bringing other characters in all willy-nilly. It's like, no, this is a book about Captain America, and we're going to focus on him doing like Captain America style heroism, which is working for the military, doing covert ops against Dr. Doom. So I think that's super fun. It made me feel like I was really on board with it immediately. I'm like, okay, great, I'm supposed to be here. Was the feeling where I'm like, yes, I've never read a Captain America comic. I am allowed. I'm sorry, that's not true. We did read the issue of Captain America where he got shot in the head and died.
Was that a Captain America issue, or was that a Civil War issue?
I believe that was a Captain America issue.
It was a tie-in a Civil War then or something like. Wasn't that? I thought Civil War.
I don't think it's a part of Civil War. But in any case, I feel like this is a really good jumping in point for what feels like a really inviting take on Captain America, where it's like, yes, you're allowed to be here. You don't need the history. We're all on the same page here. And I really like the art. There's some really beautiful, sequences, and some really interesting, like juxtapositions between the but like there's a boy child joining the military as like you know,
Boy child.
a boy child.
I like a
um
new a mirror to Captain America.
exactly, yeah.
You want to call him that.
And I think that juxtaposed really well with the just kind of like more comic booky Captain America art.
Agreed. I also like she got to draw a lot of different characters because like there were a lot of other characters involved in this, and I thought it was a really good like other characters exist in this world, but they're not taking the focus like
Yes.
and also not just like cameo porn. Like it felt very well done within the narrative. I also need to shout out the Mole Man moment because that was fucking hilarious.
Gotta love the moment.
It genuinely made me laugh. Very funny moment of mine. No, I think you're absolutely right. It feels very welcoming to a new reader of Captain America. It felt very just like realistic in the sense of like Captain America being like, oh, I don't know anything that's going on, so I'm gonna try to go back to being a soldier because I know how to be a soldier. Like that was very nice. I really like the way that Captain America himself was written in this issue. I thought that he felt very, very good. And I feel like I'm always a little just wary to read Captain America in the modern day, just because I feel like you can kind of go to two extremes with him and like the way that you write him. So like, I think a lot of people are kind of scared to write Captain America now, and that leads to books going, kind of any number of ways. This so far feels very good. It has kind of alleviated those concerns for me. So I'm very excited to read more. It is a very setup-y issue, as new issues of series tend to be. But I liked it quite a bit. And I'm excited to see where it goes. It's also seemingly setting up a Doctor Doom like thing, villain thing, which is interesting.
Which is crazy. Doctor Doom is a villain? No, it is wild as a Captain America villain.
Yeah, so I'm interested to see how that goes and like what the plan is there. I think this is an ongoing because this being set in the past has thrown me off and made me go like, is this just a miniseries? But this is the main Captain America book. Yeah. This isn't like a miniseries. So I'm not sure how that's kind of going. So yeah, I'm intrigued.
Love, super fun. You, dear listener, have you been reading Captain America for decades on end? Are you a brand new Captain America initiate like us? Did you start reading them when the movie came out and have gone from there? What's your journey with Captain America? Let us know, and then let us know how you feel about this new book. Is it a completely deviated take? Is there something dramatic that we should have in every Captain America book that we were missing here? Let us know down below.
No Bucky Barnes, really. I mean, he talks.
They bring him up a lot. He talks about him a lot.
Real.
Oh, okay. So we're gonna have Winter Soldier away.
Yeah. But he's not there yet. So
he's not there yet. Yeah. But we have more books to talk about. We are gonna go talk about Hyde Street Sisterhood, which is a brand new thing in the Hyde Street universe. Sisterhood, a Hyde Street story. Number 1, because notably this is not one of the Hyde Street one-shots. This is a 5 or 6 issue miniseries set in the Hyde Street universe. This comes to us from writer Maytal Shute of It Happened on Hyde Street Devour, and artist Layla Lees of Night Terror's Catwoman, Alters, and also It Happened on Hyde Street Devour. The colorist is Alex Sinclair, and the letter is Rob Lee. Jay, we have really enjoyed the little Hyde Street deviations, on top of generally enjoy regular Hyde Street. I love that you
keep saying deviations. There's only been one shot before this, people. Just to,
no, there was. Wasn't there another one?
Just
am I crazy? No, you know what it is? I keep thinking that the Matinee Monster one was a one shot.
No, that was just
it essentially was.
Oh, I mean, a lot of the issues in Hyde Street were essentially one shot.
Yeah, but that one was like focused completely on one villain.
I don't know.
Or not villain, but like one guy.
Actually, maybe the furthest thing from a villain we have at Hyde Street.
Hey, he's getting in Punky's way.
Who is the villain?
In any case, we like Hyde Street. We like Hyde Street. Sisterhood is a new format for it.
Yeah, and
How'd you like
unfortunately, our review last week was a little bit fucked up, so we couldn't upload it. But I think it was the
Oops.
first time we were both really on the same page, maybe since issue 1 of being like, "Oh, this is really good." So Hyde
Yeah.
Street getting back up there for us. This was really good. I really like this. I feel like we really
Mhm.
like the Devour one shot too. I really really like this. Sophie and Violet are written so well, like as a pair, and their interactions are written so well, and I think that really leads into what makes this issue so good. And I feel like a lot of that is like it gets that goodness that like the Hyde Street Devour one shot had, but with setup and build for a series to come, which is really really exciting to me. Um, I think I said it was about like a lot of times when you get a writer coming from another medium because Metal comes from TV writing. In case that's new information for people. It wouldn't be if you watched a Devour review. So do that. But a
Or
lot
it
of times
would
when
be
you have
because you
writers
might have
coming,
forgotten, like me.
yeah, when you have people coming from another medium, a lot of times I think they struggle to write comics because it's a very different medium. Metal did not. Like I think Metal's doing a really really good job. This the visuals are also great. Layla Lee's
Mhm.
does a really really good job with like a lot of. This is a very civilian focused issue and book,
Yeah.
so with a lot of stuff that could be very boring, they give the page a lot of energy and make it very very
Mhm.
interesting. My only slight gripe is that I don't think the beginning with the death of the mother is necessary based on where the book goes. It feels like we end up kind of retreading ground because of that. And so I
Mhm.
don't know that is like the best opening beat slash like the best use of space in this issue. Not enough to take away from it, but just a little thing. But I
Yeah,
love the
because
setup too.
I think with that, the thing for me is that because a lot of that is focused on like the captions overlaying, so it's much less about the scene as it's happening. And the fact that such like a dramatic thing happens there, I feel like gets lost a little bit in the fact that it's like got all of this front piece narration
Yeah.
happening, and it's like, okay, this is what I'm actually paying attention to. And I almost wish that we had like maybe a little more montage of Sophie and Violet in there,
Yeah.
of just like, yeah, this is them growing up together, and like the mundane ways that they're like sisters, as opposed to this
Yeah.
one really big moment.
Yeah.
But like you said, I
Agreed.
love the way that their relationship is written when they're at college together,
Oh
when
yeah.
they're talking about that stuff. It's so well done. I feel like even just looking at them and with the knowledge of like, oh, they are super close, and then looking at them and seeing like one who's like rushing sororities and one who's in a sweatshirt on her laptop, it's like, oh, I
Yeah.
see the story, because like they're so
Yep.
archetypical.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
absolutely. And what I really like is, with no spoilers about what happens with the end, I really like that they aren't following what I feel like is often an archetypical, like, oh, we were so close and then we fell apart or anything. Like, I feel like they don't lose that closeness even as the issue goes on, and they like, kind of are doing their own things.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that closeness really remains, which I think is much more real than, oh, my friend is rushing a sorority and I'm not, so now we're like not friends anymore. It's like, no, if you're good enough friends with someone, you're like friends, you know?
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that their relationship was very, very well done, and it leads us to the like really, really cool setup at the end of this, which is really, really rad. And I don't want to spoil like
Yeah.
the way that it's going to work and what's going to happen, but the way that their relationship was built and their differences in personality make it
Hmm.
so that that's going to work so incredibly well and be so incredibly
Yes.
cool moving forward. So yeah, I'm very excited that this isn't a one shot where it's just like, well, there's the little like creepy thing, and you can kind of decide where it goes in your head. Like no, it's like we're gonna see how this plays out, and I really, really like that.
Super excited to watch that play out.
Yeah, yeah, for real.
Have you been reading Hyde Street, dear listener? Have you enjoyed the singular before this one off and the the more I guess quote unquote side character focused maybe issues that
Yeah.
they've had within like the matinee monster? Are you excited to see another miniseries set in this universe? And do you think it's a growing trend? Because we saw this a little bit with Jump Scare as well, where it's like, oh, we've established this main universe and we're going right into like side characters in this brand new universe.
Yeah.
Because I think that it's a super fun trend if it gets to like continue being a trend. Because I think it really fleshes out worlds super well.
Yeah,
Do you want to see
absolutely.
more of that, dear listener? Let me know down below, and I will, I don't know, write an email to Image Comics themselves and Dark Horse to congratulate them and say, please do more. Anyway, this one kind of got away from me. We are going to go talk about Arcana Royale.
Arcana Royale, issue 3. The writer is Cullen Bunn of Sinestro, Magneto, and the Sixth Gun. The artist is A.C. Zamudio of the Sixth Gun Valley of Death, The Remains, and Shadow Roads. The colorist is Bill Crabtree, and the letter is Josh Reed. Katie, we were intrigued by issue 1, but not in love with it. We really, really enjoyed issue 2 and all the character setup. And with this being only a 4-issue series, this is the penultimate issue now.
Yeah.
And shit kind of hit the fan.
Shit majorly hit the fan. And I really liked the shit hitting the fan. I thought that was really exciting. I thought that was really intriguing. I want to give first shouts to Zamudio's art. I think that it's so gorgeous. Especially, I showed the panel, the pages once already, but I'm going to do it again. That beautiful double spread is like, it's so grand. It gives such a great sense of like grandioseness to this this big ass poker game. I will say I'm a little bummed we didn't get here sooner. Like, I really liked what we got in the previous issue, but I feel like maybe we've bitten off a little more story than there's room for. Because I'm like, I got to the end of this issue and I'm like, this is so fucking exciting. Like, this is so hyped for me.
Oh yeah,
but it makes me really upset that I'm only going to get one more issue of that. And the thing that I kept bouncing back to, because it's also Cullen Bunn, I believe it was. Cullen Bunn also did Monsters on My Business, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. I was very confident, and then I was like, what if I'm wrong? I found myself bouncing back to that, where I'm like, I feel like with Monsters Are My Business, we were able to get into the action so quickly, and there were so many like good issue enders that are like, oh, you're just packing so much into this really tight package, which I think was 5 issues instead of 4, so it got a little extra breathing room. It might have only been 4.
No, I think you're right.
Yeah, I think Mad Cave normally does 5, but I could be wrong.
I don't think it was Mad Cave book. I think it was Dark
Horse
book.
Oh shit, you might be right. In any case, look, Cullen Bunn, he publishes with a lot of people. I feel like he's got good.
He publishes
good
with everyone.
Exactly. So I'll forgive myself for that misstep. But it made me feel with this one where I'm like, I wish that we had like front loaded a little less. Like, I wish that we were going to get more time in the kind of like arcane dimension situation that we've got going on. But that's because I liked this area so much. I liked this beat so much. And I feel like we got to have a lot of really smooth and natural characterization for Hudson that felt very natural with the progression that she's had, and lets her kind of, I don't know, really characterize herself well.
Yeah, I agree with pretty much everything you said there. I think it's another really good issue. I think the last 2 issues have been really, really good, which maybe make you have a feeling like, well, one, either I wish it was longer, I wish issue 1 had maybe gotten into stuff a little bit faster, so that we could kind of do a bit more. It's that mini-series-itis, you know?
Yeah,
we keep sitting here, it's like, especially a lot of things now being jammed into 4 issues versus, you know, even the 5. It's like, you just don't have all that much room to do stuff. That being said, I still very much see how it can end in one more issue.
Yes, same.
Like, I think we definitely have gotten, like, to a point where we were very close to a potential ending. I really, really love where we got with this issue. I really like the tension building in this issue, leading into what is a phenomenal cliffhanger at the end of this issue.
Oh yeah.
I feel like so much of it is just how great Zamudio's artwork is in this realm. In all of these crazy arcana,
arcane and supernatural things.
Yeah, intertwined with these poker visuals and this like grandiose hall, I guess. If you want to call it that. Yeah. It's just a visually stunning book, which helps carry a lot. But the story, I think, is caught up to the art across the last 2 issues, which is really, really great. And I think we're in for a really great final issue, especially if Jump Scare and Monsters Are My Business, basically any other miniseries by Cullen Bunn is of you know any I can't think of a word.
Indication.
Indication. Thank you. He's a big ramper So
Yes.
things tend to just keep getting bigger. So I am ready for this huge, explosive final issue of Arcana Royale. I'm very excited for it.
I am also very excited. I'm all in. Jay is not pleased with my attempt at a little bit of poker humor. Jay knows a lot about poker, and I know nothing.
We just have 4th of July. I got to play a bunch of poker. That's fun.
Did you win?
I won a lot.
Ooh. Maybe you should go to the Aether Casino and bet your very life. Let's talk about our final book of the day, Arcbound.
Do it!
Arcbound, number 5. This is coming to us from quite the writer team of Scott Snyder, who you may know from Batman, Justice League, and Noctera, Frank Thierry of Wolverine, Iron Man, and Harley Quinn, with special character development help from Mr. Tom Hardy. The artist here is Ryan Smallman. This is his first major comic. He's mostly like a video game concept artist, which is super rad. The colorist is Frank William, and the letter is Buddy Bodwin. Jay.
Yes.
We liked Arcbound so much.
Yes.
And then it abandoned us.
It abandoned us for like 4 months, something like that. Been a while.
Something like that. In any case, it kind of let itself go a little stale.
Yeah.
You gave yourself a little refresher. I did not.
Because we were talking last week, I think off camera, where we were like, if this thing that we're talking about is not the last issue, we're in trouble. And in fact, it was not the last issue. It was issue 3. So I was very glad that I reread issue 4 before this issue. But that is before we get into my main criticism is the fact that this hiatus was so long. Mm-hmm. Because that really hurts, especially a series that's kind of just getting started and it's brand new and it's really trying to get its feet under it. Delays can kill you. It was really rough. Luckily, this book had built up enough kind of cred with me that I was willing to go back and reread the last issue before this one because of how much I loved this book. But like, don't do that. I know there's always things going on, and I know this book is like a corporation behind it, whatever I think it's the Radiant Black Company is behind it, and then it's got, like all these different names on it, including Tom Hardy, who maybe is, like it could be delayed just because Tom Hardy didn't give his notes for several months. Like it might not be on any of the actual creative team. Like I know there's probably a lot going on.
Not to discount Tom Hardy's very important role.
I'm just saying, like, we don't know that it was like even on the people who were physically making the book. It could be something completely out of their control. Mm-hmm. But regardless, it hurts. This kind of gap at this stage in a book really, really does hurt. But that's the main negative, because this was a really freaking good issue. And like that's the thing of like you hurt yourself when you do that. But this was a really, really great issue. We get it's Kai. It's Kai. It was taking me a second. It's Kai. We get Kai's wife being relevant, I think, for the first time again since issue 1, really.
Yes. And I love her. I loved her in issue 1 and I love her now.
I agree. It's a really great, like, small part. We get Ryan Smallman's artwork is just phenomenal. For somebody who
so fucking fun.
Never done comic interiors before, because he's done a little bit of cover work that started around the same time that this stuff started. But for somebody who's never done interiors before Arcbound, they are absurd. Like, they are some of the best interiors in comics right now, which is crazy.
They're so
good, so energetic. So much of what makes this book awesome. But this book is reaching kind of a fever pitch. I think the next issue, unless they just haven't solicited more because of delays and stuff, I think next issue is actually the last issue, at least for now.
I believe that it was slated as a 6-issue series.
Yeah,
I could be wrong.
So that makes a lot of sense based on where this one ends. But this is just kind of balls to the walls until we get to just an utterly heart-tearing is maybe not the word. A heart-gripping, whatever the term is. Heart-wrenching, there we go. That's the word I was looking for. Cliffhanger that is putting Kai in for a kind of really big decision he's going to have to make at the start of the next issue.
But he makes it already, and I think that's so rad, because that's something that I actually wanted to focus on. I have to talk around it because it's a big spoiler, but it's such a good, head turn from what you normally expect. It's such a good twist on what I think is often I wouldn't say that it's a lazy or overdone, or maybe overdone, but it's a really shorthanded trope that I feel often is maybe overblown in its difficulty. And I love that, like, okay, there's a lot there. Like, in terms of, I don't know, a lot of times one side of it gets a lot less development than the other side, is what I'll say. And I think that in this, both sides have such good development, but it still feels like such a, like, in character and, I don't know, reasonable move what he actually does. And I think that's super super rad and cool.
Yeah, what I'll say is he doesn't fully make it. He kind of like just fully. He says something along the lines of, "I'll still have the choice once I do like this thing." Like,
Sure,
yeah.
yeah.
He doesn't
That's
really
fair. That's fair.
He just kind of like denies the fact that he has to kind of make it right in that moment before he gets the next.
Which I think is the really good turn of it.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I just wanted to point that, like, it's not like, oh, they dissipated the tension of that, because it is there, and they're still going to be at the start of the next issue, kind of those two things that we're talking about.
But the other thing that we're talking about it so much because it's major spoilers. But my actual favorite part of this issue is I feel like it's an issue where every character got to shine. Like, I feel like it's something that we've complimented Mark Waid on with his Justice League run, and it's making me want to revisit Scott Snyder's Justice League run. Not his current one.
He means his JLA run, not his Justice League run.
Not Justice League Unlimited.
Here's the thing. People are going to be like, we've been listening to your reviews about his Justice League run, and that's not what you've been saying.
No, it's not. But with his old JLA run, one of the coolest things about reading his books is that it always felt like every member of the team had something going on, had something happening. And I think that Snyder and Thierry do a really good job with, and Mr. Hardy do a really good job.
He does do the character development.
Yeah, with this issue, in making it feel like there are a lot of skill sets at play. And that's for the members of our team, but also for our, like, side characters and villains, which I thought was super, super fun. So it really felt like I wish that I had reread before we got here, but I did feel like I was immediately pulled back in, like, by the collar of my shirt. Like, there's no choice but to be pulled back into this universe. Yeah.
I fully agree. The characterization in this book is great. The what's the villain's name? I do not remember his name.
The
betrayer. You know.
Yeah. Let me look at this page where it gets hit in the dick.
Xander.
Yeah. We learn his name, and then we watch him get hit in the dick.
He's been built up so well throughout this book. He's gotten a lot to do. So many of the characters have gotten a lot of really, really great characterization, which is so great. And I feel like one of the things we talked about early in the series is how, for a book that has two writers, it's not a book that feels like it has two writers, which is really, really great. Scott Snyder and Frank Thierry do a great job working together and giving this a very consistent style and tone and feel, which is really, really great. That's a great. This is a great penultimate issue of Arcbound, assuming that's what it is.
It sure was.
Hopefully they get it picked up for whatever they want it picked up for, and that'll lead to more comic book. If they like, hopefully it's a TV show, so that they need more comic book for future seasons.
I don't know. I feel like, has Tom Hardy ever been in a TV show?
It could be animated, and then he could do voice work, because big stars always do voice work now. You know, instead of voice actor.
Yeah, that's okay.
And, like, streaming shows are basically movies now anyway, so, like, you know.
You got me there. You do got me there. But it comes to the hardest part of any episode of the Script Heroes podcast.
That's true.
It's time to figure out what gets our pull list, Rex. Jay, do you have something in mind? So I will say, I do.
You go, then.
I feel like I had a real kind of cut above reading experience this week, and that's going to be with Sisterhood. It happened on Hyde Street. It's got me so excited. I feel like the whole team was so cohesive and great across it, and I'm a sucker for I don't know, female friendship already. So, like, this just makes me go, yes, this is so up my alley.
Yeah, usually I'd use the opportunity of you picking one to, like, go the other way, but I'm just gonna agree with you. I think it has to be Sisterhood this week.
It's such a good start.
Is so good. It's a really, really great first issue. I would certainly recommend that people go out and read it. And as you know, by this point, when we both recommend a book, you are legally obligated to go out and purchase it.
That's right.
As well
And
as
if
anything
you're
else that sounded
smart
good
like
in this
me, you'll get a sick Ivan Reyes cover.
I like getting A covers.
And you miss out on a sick Ivan Reyes cover.
I own so many Ivan Reyes. I own Ivan Reyes original art. Can you say that? Ha
You do got me there. I have such a crush on Mr. X-Ray. I saw him on there and I was like, I'll take that one, please. I was like, oh, Ivan Reyes.
Right. Yeah, pick up anything else that sounded good in today's episode. If there's anything you want to see us review in the future, let us know down in the comments section below. But speaking of books that we'll be reviewing in future weeks, we have quite a few this coming week. Katie, do you want to...
Yeah, we've got a hefty Wednesday coming next week. It's Batman week. So it's going to be Batman Dark Patterns number 8, Batman and Robin number 23. We're also going to continue with Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion number 2. We're going to continue with Buried Long Long Ago number 3, Snow Monkey number 3, and then we have two brand new books, Planet Death number 1 and Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees Rite of Spring number 1, which is up there with Batman The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween for why is this title so wordy? A brand new award.
Agreed. I'm going to throw in one more there because Katie forgot to write
did I forget one?
when we were going over it earlier. There will also be TMNT Mutant Nation issue 8.
Which I believe is the end of it, isn't it? Or does it get one more after?
9. I think it's one more.
Very funky number to make your comic series, but go off.
Yeah. True cancelization number there, and not like we've always wanted it to be this many numbers, this many issues. But it's
but
mostly
Jay, if somebody doesn't want to wait all the way to Wednesday to hear us talk about books, what are the things we got in the pipeline here?
Yes, we weren't able to get, mainly because our main episode ended up being delayed so much due to various difficulties. We weren't able to get our Strange Saturday Super Show up this weekend, so instead it'll be coming this Friday, and we're going to be reviewing the 3rd volume of Hack Slash.
That's right, for our Strange Friday Frooper Show.
Exactly. Gotta love a Frooper Show. And then this Sunday we're going to be doing the Absolute Universe Month 9 episode. Right. You watch all of our other Absolute Universe recap and review videos. They're already up on the channel, and we'll keep you up to date on the DC's Absolute Universe.
And I believe month 9 is the introduction of Bane into Absolute Batman.
It is the big old Bane.
Big old Bane. Which is saying something, because he's normally a big old Bane, but this is a big old Bane.
Big old Bane be big old Banein'.
He Banein', oh lord.
He Banein'. It's Banein' time.
If you want to be Banein' with us, make sure that you hit like and subscribe, and I don't know, follow us on Blue Sky or something. We post episodes there.
That too.
Yeah,
we do.
Yeah.
But as always, that's all we have for you guys this week, and we hope to see you next week. Comic Books.